morning. It's Monday 10th of November. It's going to be a wet one today. Actually, I think it's going to be a wet week as well. Let me turn that fan off. But what I want to do is I want to get to site or to property to make the most of any daylight that we get today. I imagine because it's cloudy and overcast, it's gonna stay dark for a little bit longer than it possibly would have done, and also get darker a lot quicker. So 2 weeks ago I got this wrong. I had more daylight than I expected. However, so what I'm going to do this week is try and make the most of that daylight and see if I can get it all done. We'll see how it goes. So at the first job, and as soon as I turned up, it absolutely tipped it down. So there's a few leaves down, to be honest with you. Obviously, you've kind of got the lawn behind me here, and there's not really any trees on the lawn as such. All the trees around the lawn are kind of evergreens. So actually, the majority of the stuff that needs to be cleared up is all of the driveway, on the paths, by the gate. There's a summer house around the back, and that's covered. But actually, there's a few on the lawn. There's a few around, but nothing too. And then the driveway's all quite leafy as well. Sort of gets worse as you sort of get around the corner. So we'll do all that out onto the road and the main entrance and things like that. It shouldn't be too bad. But I think that's what it's going to be like all day, and actually possibly all week as well. Just heavy showers on and off constantly. Onto the second lawn of the day, and you've seen this one twice actually since I last came, only from a different angle. So that tree was looking absolutely delightful 10 days ago, and unfortunately all the leaves are now on the floor, as are those leaves over there. So this is the big one. This is the big leaf clearance day. There'll be 2 more cuts after, or 2 more visits after this, so I can't see that that's going to be half as bad. And then out the back is more oak leaves. So this one's quite easy really, because you literally just blow it to the back. So there's still quite a few leaves up there, but yeah, certainly this is probably going to be the worst it's going to be all year. Apples are still going, aren't they? All cleared up now. There's a few leaves down, but they keep coming. Actually, everything was going very well, and then we had some ridiculously heavy rain. Didn't rain for long, but it was enough to make those leaves so heavy. So this session, if you like, you know, annually always takes longer. It's taken me an hour longer than what it would normally take. And that's every year. There's that one day in November when it happens, and today was it. So that's fine. That's expected. So again, all tidied up. The leaves are still falling, but clearly a lot better than it was. Right, we've got 2 more in this road, and they are going to be bad. So hopefully we've got enough light. So on to the next one, and I think this was the same last week as well, that all those leaves are now down. So you've got these leaves here, but actually this oak tree, the majority of them are down. So I think the front, once we get this done, we've got 2 more visits after this. So once we get these leaves away, there's building going on in that house, so they're just making a right mess of the road. Once we get these leaves away, this should be pretty good now for the rest of the year. So I'll have, in the next 2 visits, I'll have at least 1 attempt hopefully to get it just trimmed. Don't really stripe the front, but a bit of trimming, edging, tidying up. So that should be good. And then out the back, I think it's pretty leafy. I've not been out there yet. I assume it will be. And again, I think that will be most of the leaves down. But then you look at that oak tree there, and then you compare that one to that one over there. It's strange that's gone really early. Anyway, all good though. Front all cleared up, and this side too. So you can see exactly how it was beforehand. The back doesn't look that bad, but I think what it is all the leaves that are down have now sort of been blown into pockets. So by the time I've blown it all back out, it's actually going to look worse. Okay, so didn't take a photo or a little video at the end on the second one, just because the client was talking to me as I sort of loaded in the van. I forgot. Got in the van, I literally moved 2 doors down. From the second I got in the van and the 2 doors distance we've gone to torrential rain. So it has rained quite hard on and off, probably not as hard as this, but essentially I've got one to do and it's just a leaf clearance. So and again it's just sort of areas where it's just been blown into woodland here and woodland there, so I haven't got to bag anything, which is good because bagging wet leaves is not fun. Anyways, right, well, I am going to sorry, just reading the message which popped up. So yeah, I'm just going to sit this one out for a couple of minutes, see what happens, and then make the most I can, because it's about 3:30 now, so it's probably an hour and a half, so 3:30, 4:30, 5 o'clock, be finishing in the dark. I think fair to say we lost that race against the sun. Bit of a breezy Tuesday, but doesn't seem to be any rain in the sky. So Hater 56 belt went. Looked over the weekend to try and get one ordered. I couldn't get anything till the 12th. It's the 11th today. Tried to buy one. Winchester McGardner Machinery, Sunningdale branch. And I don't know how they do business. I know people who buy stuff from there, but I've tried really hard. I've tried for the last 4 or 5 times. I've contacted them to try and buy something. They either haven't got back to me, or I've stood in the shop for 15 minutes being completely ignored and then just walked out. So they obviously don't want my business. Spoke to my normal sort of local mechanic, I would say. He was being a bit unhelpful. He wanted the part number. I was like, can you not just Google 56 and it will have it on there? And he was like, oh, I just need the part number. If you could tell, well, I haven't got the part number on me, so I'm gonna have to pop in there today and get it. So essentially I haven't got the 56, and obviously the other one, the handlebar, someone told me they had a handlebar for 30 quid, but I never heard back from that. So we're cutting with the Time Master today, which is okay. Most of today is going to be spent on doing leaf clearance anyway, so not too much time on the lawns. So yesterday ran out of daylight, ran out of phone battery. I was quite good on energy levels though, to be fair. So right, on to the next. This is the second one down, so 2 down, and well, a few more to go. So as you can hear, next door are blowing leaves, and we're also going to be blowing leaves. Not too bad actually out the back. Be the front that's the worst, considerably worse. I haven't got the billy goat, annoyingly, because I've got the Time Master in place of the 56. So unfortunately I have to backpack it like a normal person. So that's Tuesday, fortnightly cuts done. Really didn't show too much today. As I always say, normally at the start of the day, you've seen it all before. I did get a video of a really leafy lawn, and they had the electricians working in the side, doing whatever they were doing. So there was a bit of a faff, like they all had to keep moving their ladders and things, because I could get the mower through one way and then back, and then blowers and everything else. So in the end, I just sort of forgot about taking the after, which was annoying, but it is what it is. So now it's, as I say, it's Tuesday. I've kind of beat the darkness quite comfortably actually today, so that's pretty good. A few of the lawns I didn't even mow, didn't even bother getting the mower out. It was literally just leaf blowing. It's been a bit breezy actually, so in some cases it's been really good to just use the wind to help me sort of disperse the leaves. So now I'm on pickups and drop-offs Thursday and Friday, so I basically have got to get the van ready for Thursday now, because I won't have time to get back up here. So I need to get the van ready and then get that stuff home. I can't get hold of a belt till Friday for the hater, so that's out of action. I've got two options really. One is wherever the other bloody hater is, there it is, I can see it there, is just strip that down, take the parts off it and put it on the other one, or take the handlebars off the other one and move them over onto that one. But to be, in all honesty, I think I'll just be on leaves anyway on Friday, well Thursday as well, so because of that I'm just not going to bother. I will have the Time Master with me. If it really does need a cut, then I've got that, so I can cut something if necessary. So that's the gamble I'm going to make on that. But right, I will see you on Thursday morning. So it's Thursday now. Last time I saw you was Tuesday. And I didn't really talk about Wednesday because I wasn't really sure what I was going to do, but the weather was really, really bad, as I sort of half expected. So what I did do, well, I'll let you see. Welcome to the video. So today I am in a very car park and it's raining very, very hard, but I need to make my way over to that building over there, which you may recognise as the NEC in Birmingham, where Saltex is held. And really, the question I want to know is Saltex dying? I think it was the last time I came to Saltex I found out about Groundsfest, and I found out that it was going to be happening, this, that and the other, and I was initially brilliant for two reasons. One, because it sounded as though it was going to give us sort of sole traders, lawn care people, the show that we wanted, but also it was going to give Saltex that bit of competition it needed to raise their game. And hopefully what we'll actually have is two great shows, because when you've got a rival, when you've got a bit of competition, it either makes you better or it makes you just fade away into obscurity. Well, let's find out. So first observation before I even got in there, I don't know if that's been like this for a couple of years now, but we're in a different hall much further around to the right, so I assume that's a smaller hall perhaps. The Wetherspoons pub obviously was prime location, dead opposite, so it's a little bit of a couple of minutes walk around now, but they do have the clubhouse inside, so maybe you don't need the Wetherspoons perhaps. Okay, so not in yet. Now I registered last night or the night before, but I didn't print off my tag. Now one thing that's quite good is, although they've not opened yet to the public, there are two kiosks. There's one there and one behind me where you can get your badges printed off. So rather than joining a queue to faff around and get all this stuff done, you can just go straight in once they open. So I quite like that feature, much more user friendly. So it's about 7 o'clock now, and I'm just walking back. I really enjoyed the show today. I took a few bits of clips here and there. Reason why I'm leaving so late is actually one of the fertilizer companies there who I bumped into at Groundsfest. One of the guys actually married someone I went to school with, and his wife from school was coming to the show for some related, actually sort of related to the industry business. So I was able to meet up, and I think the last time I saw her was at a school friend's wedding in 2010. So that was nice. The show's a lot smaller. A lot smaller. They've moved it into a smaller hall, as I say. So actually, by moving less people into a smaller hall, it kind of gives the look of it's a bit busier than probably what it actually is. Toro weren't there. That was an obvious miss. I'm sure there were others. Some stands like Aliens, is that what we're calling it? They were there on a very small stand. So the people who were there, it was all just on a much smaller scale. So it's interesting. I actually thought it probably be a bit better than potentially it was, but I did enjoy it. I always quite liked Saltex, just the idea of it, and also what it was quite good is with it not being busy, it just gave me an opportunity to speak to some people who I really wanted to talk to about various different things. So yeah, glad I came. Would I come every year? Probably not, if I'm honest, but particularly this time I really didn't want to come and make some new contacts which I'd sort of organised making over the last couple of months. So yeah, anyway, also torrential rain all day, so may as well be here rather than anywhere else. Anyways, I'll see you tomorrow, because I think it's going to be the best day of the week. Okay, so that was Saltex, and I guess to answer the question of is it dying as a show, there were some things I really liked. What they did do was they put it in a smaller hall, and they closed everything in a little bit, so that just gave it a little bit more of an atmosphere. As you saw at the end there, you had and I forget his name, some ex-rugby dude, I can't remember his name. Anyways, he was DJing, and that was quite a nice little vibe actually. I actually think the vibe there, because they sort of penned you in right in the centre, in some ways was actually better than what sort of the Groundfest thing is, because Groundfest, obviously you've got some guy playing or DJing or whatever, and he's way down the hangar over there, and it's so echoey in there, and it sort of loses that bit of atmosphere. I do think, and I've said this before to lots of people about Groundsfest, and actually I was speaking to the guys yesterday at Saltex, is that I do think it should be in a smaller hall. I think you lose so much atmosphere. There's not enough people there. Even when people have had a couple of beers and they move down to sort of the music, the bar's so far away over there that it just, if they could just close one segment off and just make that smaller, it'd have more atmosphere. Anyways, as far as the show, every company only had a very small stand there, and you know, Toro weren't there, as I said in the little bit yesterday, and I don't think they're going to be there. And a couple of companies I spoke to, they were literally after the success of Groundfest, I think this was the test. They were doing Saltex just to see, give it one more chance. So I think the jury will be out, won't it? I think there'll be certainly next year you will know whether it's ending or not, because everyone I spoke to, sort of from a lawn care point of view, there's no need to go. Now I saw lawn people there, no doubt about it, and I was there too, and I was there to speak to a couple of people in particular, fertilizer companies, and they were there, so that was good. But if I've got no real need to go and speak to a particular person, then I can't see that I'm going to be making the trip again. Anyways, right, so one lawn down, or two lawns down actually, because there was one on Monday that I knew I wouldn't have time for, the small one, so I've done that one. Now I've come to this property here. It's been a case of blowing leaves really. Grass could do with a cut, but leaves were the problem. So all the beech tree leaves, they're down, so that's great. So next week there shouldn't be really any leaves around here. There's a few up there. Oaks, hopefully most of those will fall. The prevailing wind is that direction, so most of those hopefully will fall at that side. So next week this will all be good for a real good cut. Tennis courts blown off. What I have done is just to manage the time. Again, I've blown a load into that corner over there, so that I did that last week as well. They're still there from last week, and I've added to that pile. So quite often I sort of leave them there. I get them cleared up before Christmas, but if you've got that one frosty day when you can't mow, you've got a job there. Majority of those leaves are down now, so I gave a good clear out down there on that lawn, and yeah, the majority of these are down. You can obviously see a few leaves up there. I don't know if that's sort of a dead bit or not, I can't really tell. But what I have done is blown all the leaves out into here. So what we'll start doing is taking these leaves and just moving them back. And yeah, we're looking in a pretty good condition now. Really, everything's getting tidy. Just need to get those pockets of leaves tidied up. And then really it'll be a case of just giving a tidy up mow. Really until that first frost, because all the leaves are down and we've nowhere near a frost yet. So the grass is still growing. So we'll just keep tidying up. So this is a weekly, so we've got a few more. Well, we'll probably do two visits in December probably, and then what is it, 2 more visits. Yeah, so 4 visits left after this. So right, we're going to go on now to John Deere house. Again, I suspect that's going to be quite tidy. A few leaves down, but where the leaves fall, you just blow them into that wooded area, and a cut of the grass. And then the last property, I haven't got the hater, so if it really did, I cut it last week. If it really did need a cut, I have got a Time Master on board, but again, I think that will just be leaves. And yeah, as I said at the start of the week, this week is the leaf week. It should all calm down after that. So just onto the usual Thursday, the John Deere job. So having put these stripes in for a couple of weeks, I then went on to these ones, and now we're back onto these ones. So, you know, they're not really, they seem to stand out more after they've settled a little bit. But yeah, nice and peaceful here. So one more, which will be leaves, as I said, and then we'll that will be that. Okay, back onto another leaf clearance job. Morning, so Friday today, and it is pretty wet outside now. I'm normally somebody who would really just sort of kind of persevere and just make the best of it, but sometimes I'm actually end up just crying out for an office day, even though there's not that much time left of the year. But what I found is I've had a lot of inquiries come through, and next week what I'm doing really depends on the weather, so we'll have to just wait and see on that. But next week's also the first time I've really just had a chance to have a breather and just sort of do some treatments and things like that, sort of winter treatments. But with those treatments gives me a bit of flexibility to go in, do quotes and things like that. So I've been saying, well, since October really, that I probably wouldn't be able to get to see anyone. And the reason for that, this is just to do quotes, but the reason for that is because the nights draw in, and it's actually, you know, at 4 o'clock, can you start doing a quote? You can't assess the grass or anything like that, so it is a bit of a problem. And also generally, as my wife is at the moment, she's away, so I haven't got Saturdays available to me. Otherwise I've got the kids with me, and they'll be swinging off the washing line, or it's not professional, and it's not easy. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So at the minute I've got piles and piles of paperwork which just sort of needs sorting more than anything, as well as getting these jobs booked in. Maybe I might be able to actually pick some off later on, if the rain isn't too hard. And I've got the part for the heater that I need to pick up this afternoon, so I'd like to get that fixed as well. Again, not that I really need the heater now till Thursday, but get it sorted while I've got the opportunity. Kids are at school all day, wife's away, I've just got a bit of peace and quiet so I can just sit at the computer and just get all this stuff done. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next week. So that'll be week commencing the 17th, and then there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos left of the year, which is mad really. Maybe 6, but and then what we'll do next year, I've no idea. I would like to show more machinery and things like that. I think that gets a lot more traction, but you've got to be given this you've got to be given the machinery. I know I've had someone comment that all I ever show is Trackmaster and cam and stuff, but if no one's letting me borrow or demo this stuff, then that's all I can do. Anyways, I shall see you next week.